What's going on, everyone? So, Lakers and their cap preservations for 2026, and then it was 2027, and now it's like, okay, maybe 26, 27, which we'll get into. I'll give my thoughts and opinions on that here in a moment. But the reason I want to talk about this is Keith Smith, who many of you, I'm sure, are familiar with from, Trevor Lane with Laker Nation, and as well as, the front office show and all that. He recently gave us a little insight into the Lakers cap situation for next season. So I wanted to kind of go over that and then give my thoughts and express some concerns and questions and whatnot. But again, from Keith Smith, for 2026 free agency, the Los Angeles Lakers have incredible flexibility cap-wise. If the Lakers clear the books of all non-guaranteed money except for Austin Reeves' cap hold, I project them to have $54 million in cap space. Range for LA is between staying over the cap and up to $84 million in cap space. So, couple things, right? And obviously Austin Reeves is going to get paid, but they'll have his bird rights, and with bird rights, right, it doesn't count towards like the tax and all that stuff. So there's benefits to keeping your own players, right, with the new CBA. Now, here's my problem. One, I want to say that I believe the whole cap situation is a bit overblown, right? Because I don't know how the Lakers are going to preserve cap space if guys work out, right? So for example, DeAndre Ayton. What if DeAndre Ayton is exactly what we want at the center position? What if he's fantastic, right? He's not going to continue to take $8 million a year. So now you're going to have to pay him next season, right? Because he has the player option. So you think he's going to opt in? No, he's going to opt out of that, right? And then now he's going to want a new contract. So let's say you can get him on $15 million, right? Perfect, beautiful, right? You sign him on that $15 million. Well, that's $15 million into the cap. Okay. Jake LaRavia, same thing. Right? Now you sign Jake LaRavia to it. Okay, well now Jake LaRavia, let's say he gets 50. Now you're $30 million into the cap, right? And you could see, what if Rui continues to be really good and the Lakers don't trade him, right? What do you do? Let's say Rui's willing to take a discount and goes, I'll play for $12 million. Okay, well there's another $12 million in the cap because you still need to fill out a roster. But the big thing is you look at 2026 in particular. Now, I know the grandeurs are 2027, right? That's the year. That's where, Giannis and Jokic and stuff become available. We'll talk about that here in a moment. But you look at the 2026 situation, right? Who is there to get? There isn't anybody. You know who's the best player available would be? LeBron James, which is why I've said I don't understand why, assuming that the reporting is true, which, take that as you may. I don't know why the Lakers would want to get rid of LeBron next season. I don't. Because there's nobody better or as good that you can replace him with. Now, maybe you work out some type of sign and trade where he ends up going to a contender and you're getting assets, and then you're taking those assets and trading for a Jokic or a Giannis next offseason. Sure, then perfect. Beautiful. But guess what? You're not going to have that cap space at that point, right? So the cap space was irrelevant, right? I guess you could round out the rosters around them. So I guess irrelevant's the wrong word, but you get the point, right? I think this whole cap situation is a little overblown because the realistic chance of Jokic and Giannis actually hitting free agency is very slim. Chances are they're going to want to be traded, right? Or the team is going to want to trade them because they're not going to want to lose them for nothing. So realistically, the Lakers are probably going to have to trade for either guy more likely than it is that they just become free agents. If Jokic doesn't sign the extension next year, is Denver really going to just go, oh, okay, we'll just run the risk of him walking to the Lakers next year and losing, a generational all-time great player for nothing? Probably not. They're probably going to trade him to the highest bidder. Right? Now, there is the whole idea of the Lakers could, if they stay pat, could have 3 firsts and all this other stuff, right? So sure, maybe, but again, even 2026, there's the only guy that made sense was Jaren Jackson Jr. He's no longer available. He signed the extension, right? So who are you going to get? Which is why, again, I think if anything, you keep LeBron, right? Let's say the Lakers know, hey, Jokic isn't going to sign the extension. He's just going to ride it out and then go into free agency, 2027. Perfect. then you should keep LeBron next season. So that way you can go try to win a championship with LeBron. And then LeBron rides off into the sunset and gets replaced by Nikola Jokic. Basically having LeBron as the salary filler for a season, which would be great. Right? Like, however you look at it, it doesn't make sense. Like, what are the Lakers going to do next offseason? They're just going to sign everyone to 1-year deals? How many players are going to want to do that? How many players are going to be lining up to take a 1-year deal? Right? Like, so what is he going to do? Player or team options? Because player options, they could opt in, and then that ruins their cap space. Again, how many players are going to want to do 1+1s with a team option? Not very many at all. So, but we're going to be at this title contender. We're going to be all that stuff. Right? Like, I understand, maybe having the preservations for 2027. And look, there's a very real possibility. Maybe the Lakers know. Very possible. You know who Luka's best friend is? Jokic. There is a real potential that they know. And the reason that they're lining up these contracts and everything, supposedly they knew Luka was going to sign the extension in the beginning, right? Like Luka said himself, it was a no-brainer. I knew what I was doing. Right? They didn't take long to think about it. So maybe the Lakers knew that was the case and that was what was going to happen and so on and so forth, and boom, everything was going to be good. And maybe they know, because Luka's been recruiting, that one of these guys are coming. Very possible. And then, at that point, we might look at it and go, what a mastermind, right? Great job, everyone, right? They ended up landing Jokic or Giannis or whatever, right? Like that, look, that that could very well be a real possibility. No doubt about it. However, we don't know that right now. I don't have, a DeLorean. I don't have anything where I can see if that's going to actually happen or not. So judging off of right now, judging off of the example set over the past, 75 or 77 years, whatever it's been, of NBA history, very rarely do superstars actually hit the market. They're usually traded because teams don't want to just lose them. Right? Like, so to me, if you are going to land a Giannis or you are going to land a Jokic Jokic, then you're probably going to have to trade for either, which means you would need the salary players in order to do that. Now, maybe you're doing something where, LeBron is going and then, you're taking Austin Reeves in a sign and trade plus whatever assets you get. I've talked about in the past. Maybe it's like maybe you're doing a Cavs trade and it's like Darius Garland and, Jared Allen with Austin Reeves and, you're throwing in, now you have 3 firsts, you're throwing in your 3 first too, and you're going to go get Jokic and that's their like rebuild package, or Giannis and then that's the rebuild package, whatever. Like there's very possible that could happen. But it's great to have that cap space. But if LeBron just leaves, now you have Luka and a bunch of role players. Is that enough to win? Now, it could be possible that maybe DeAndre Ayton becomes that guy. Right? What if DeAndre Ayton next season is, 18-12 as like the 4th option? Right? It's like, well, what happens when he's the 2nd or 3rd option? Plus Austin Reeves. What if Austin Reeves and Luka just look amazing? Right? But also, here's the thing. They're probably going to have to pay Austin Reeves a ton of money. I mean, anywhere from 30 to 50 million. Right? That's my dilemma. Right? Like, so if you're going to have to pay Austin Reeves, now that starts tapping into it. And then you're going to have to pay, a DeAndre, now that taps into it. And then you're going to pay Jake LaRave, that taps into it. Right? And all of a sudden you look up and it's like all that cap space is gone. Now you have like 20 million left to work with. Right? Now you might be able to get a couple really good role players, but you're not going to be able to get another star. So you're hoping that Austin Reeves or, a DeAndre Ayton or that player just demands that trade, right? Where Giannis is just like, hey, I want out and I'm only going to the Lakers. Right? You would need that. You need an Anthony Davis level move because the Lakers, even then, aren't going to have enough compared to some of these other teams for a Giannis or a Jokic or whatever. But if they come out and are like, hey, I only want to go to Lakers, you could trade for me. Now, there's very possible that somebody goes, hey, let's do the Kawhi Leonard thing, and they just trade for Jokic or Giannis for a 1-year rental, and then they go and sign him to the Lakers. And if the Lakers know Giannis is coming or know Jokic is coming, then you have to preserve the cap space, right? Like, so the only way that this really makes sense to me is if the Lakers know. right? Like, and that's my dilemma, right? Like, now look, if the Lakers knew, right, we wouldn't know because they're gonna keep that hush hush. They're gonna keep that under wraps, right? And it'd be technically tampering, like that ever happens. So I don't know. It's just, to me, it just, the whole, hey, we're preserving cap space for 2027, 2026. It doesn't add up if guys work out. Like, if everyone's like Ayton's trash and Laravia's trash and all that stuff, then fine, you let them all walk and it's no loss. Right? But the next year, what are you doing? You're signing, what are you going to sign Ayton to a 1-year deal, sign Laravia to a 1-year deal? Probably not. They're probably not going to want to do that. Right? Like, because, injuries, all kinds of stuff happen. So it's just a weird spot for the Lakers to be in, personally. And I don't trust it. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.